Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Parrott Bros. Now, we have a roll cage. Finally got some progress on the noggin and I could not be happier. Now this has addressed a few small problems that I need to deal with. Now I've got a cage, but that's a nice problem to have. Right, before I get stuck into those, let's jump to the intro. So I thought I'd start the video being outside the car because I'm sure a lot of you are going to want to see me try and get in. Now when I went and picked up the car from John Lynn at Tylah Motorsport, who done all the work for me, we did have a good laugh because I tried 3 or 4 different ways of getting in because there's not really an easy way, and I've left the original steering wheel on because I didn't know what John was going to be doing, and of course if he's working and jumping in and out I didn't know if it was going to get damaged. Not that he would, I'm sure, but I thought I'll leave the old one on for now, and I regret that because that gap between there and there is probably only maybe 6 or 7 inches. And then the gap between here and the steering wheel is probably only 9 inches. And yeah, it's a little bit on the tight side. Now I have sussed out a way to get in. It's still not graceful, I promise you that. I'll do it now. So what I've found is easiest on this cage is left foot first. It doesn't help when it's snowy outside. Put your head in, and then you can get your bum in, and then you've got to try and get this leg, shake some of the snow off, in between the cage and the steering wheel and the seat without touching any of them. Ta-da! And then we're in. It doesn't work bum first because you kind of get stuck, well I do anyway, between the seat and the wheel, and then there, and yeah, you have to try and sort of fold yourself up like an envelope. Now, one of the issues it did address, which you won't be able to see, but I'll show you a picture, is that's not shut. Because if you can see, the door card actually touches the cage all the way along. Now, this is a JP Cages cage. It was bought from a guy who'd already bought it, test fitted it, then not used it. So I got myself a little bit of a deal, but at this end, I'm actually paying for it a little bit because John had to do extra work to get it to fit. Although it's a bolt-in, it doesn't just bolt in, of course. He had to adapt some of the plates to fit it. He had to take my dashboard out and trim down the sides of my dash because it's not a dash dodge. It goes through the dash to try and give you the most forward protection. But the issue with that is you then have to cut your dashboard. Now, it doesn't matter because I'm not going back with this, so it is what it is. And I had the cage, so there's not a lot I could do. But going forward, would I buy an off-the-shelf bolt-in? Probably not. If this one hadn't come up at a reasonably good price at the time, I thought, I probably would have just gone straight to Tylah Motorsport and said, look, build me a cage. They can do bolt-in, they can do welding, they can do whatever you want. Because realistically, even if I unbolt this, I wouldn't be able to get it out now. So it's in for good. But what an addition. I am absolutely loving it. Now I've worked out how to get into the car. Ideal. Other issues to deal with, there's not too many to be fair. I need to add some sort of foot plate because my feet are too low now, so it makes doing the pedals a little bit harder. Still doable, a little bit harder. So it needs a little bit of a raised foot plate. I need to get some sort of motorsport door cards that don't foul because obviously the amount of pressure on the latch of the door is tremendous. So you actually have to pull the door in to open it, and then when you're outside you have to really push it to get it to fully close. So I've not been doing that. So I need to make a door card and then incorporate the electric windows, the mirror switch and the handle and some sort of pull because I still want some creature comforts unless I extend the wiring and have some sort of plate here. Well, not here because I won't be able to get to it. But some sort of plate maybe in the middle or something to have my electronic window switches and mirror. I could always extend those or something like that. I've also got to include a bracket for the lights and all the other bits that are attached to that. I've also got to remount the fuse board because fuse boards are mounted to these covers here, so I've had to move it inwards to get it to pass. I also need to do something with a handbrake because that's horrible being like that. But I mean, as cages go, it is wicked. It's super tight. It follows the line quite nicely. I need to put some sort of, I mean, you can see here there's green tape at the moment. I need to put some sort of either clear PPF or maybe some carbon tape on there, because it will get damaged. Naturally, people are going to climb in, they're going to rub their jeans across it, belts across it, feet across it, and it's just going to scratch it up. Don't get me wrong, it's there to be used, but if I can try and preserve it, that would be nice. Now, the good thing is, because the cage is in, I can focus on everything else that I've been planning to do after the cage is in, because obviously I didn't want to run any cable in for then John to have to remove things, because he's already, I've just noticed down there, he's already pulled the cables out of the way. I'm going to have to reroute some stuff. Some of the cabling I can take out because I don't need it anymore. I want to put a battery in the boot. I've got some water meth injection to put in the boot, along with some other stuff. We'll maybe lose some of the sound system because there's no point. I haven't decided yet. I may take all the bows and everything out and then put a head unit and just have 2 speakers somewhere hidden, maybe in the back or something, just so I've got some music, because obviously this is still going to be a road trip car, so I still want it reasonably good. The only reason the other bucket seat isn't in is because I drove it over there with one leather seat in with a normal seat belt, hence the reason the buckle's on the wrong side. Just because I didn't have any harnesses or anywhere to mount harnesses. I don't really want to wear harnesses in a bucket seat without a roll cage. So I took one leather seat and then I took one bucket seat and harnesses for John to put in. These are currently 4-point. They do need to be 6, but I need to put some brackets in for the base one. We've got these mounted round the roll cage like they're supposed to. And this is quite a nice addition. I like this. And this just helps you feel the car a bit more. If you've never driven a car with a bucket seat and a harness, when you go around a corner, in a normal car you'd sort of slide a little bit and you might find yourself sliding off the seat and you think that the car is sort of at its limit, when it's not. It's actually just you sliding in position. Once you're in a bucket seat, when you go around a corner, you can just feel exactly to near enough the point where the car is actually going to start to slide, because you're so fixed in, like literally. Let me tighten this up a tiny bit. I can't. That's as much as I can lean forward, so it's like you've got nothing. A bit of snow. You've got nothing, so you can't. You've got no movement. So when you go around a corner, you are literally feeling everything in the car, which is why I wanted to do it. The roll cage is actually in quite a nice position. You can put your elbow just on this bit here, which is quite nice. I might put a little bit of a pad on that. I haven't quite decided, but it is nice for security. If you're going to do track days, you would instantly feel more secure with a cage, especially if you were to have an accident. There's a good possibility the door won't get put in because you've got this nice cage here. You've also got a bar here to protect you should you roll over, same as at the rear. And because these are quite far forwards, all you've got to do is bring your feet to there, and then you have a reasonable amount of foot protection as well, which is nice. The other thing that we're going to have to look into is the fire and electrical aspect, because now we have a cage, bucket seats and a harness, that will impede my escape time. I've still got glass windows, although if you've seen the size of me and the size of the window, that one's up for debate. I might try that at the unit, you know, with one of the scrap cars. Try and see if I can fit out the window. If not, maybe I need to go on a diet. I need to go on a diet anyway, to be fair. And then I'll put a hammer in here, one of them hammers, so I can just tap the window and get out, if I'll fit. And then we've got the fire stick, so I need to mount that on the cage somewhere, maybe up here. I also need a rear view mirror because this one is actually obscured by the cage, so I can only see out about half of it out the lower half of the window. So what I'm going to do is get one that mounts on here, quite a slightly longer one, which will give me a better view, and I'll just pull it down enough so it doesn't block the visibility, but it also actually lets you look out the back window, because that's really important, especially in a coupe like this, because the wing mirrors are average at best. So yeah, loads of progression going to be happening on this now. As soon as the snow is gone, because it just makes moving everything a nightmare. So this is my last video down the garage, mainly because not even my daily could get down here because of the snow. This would get out, but then I would have to struggle. So most of the videos going forward will be up the unit. We're going to run the water meth in, we're going to run the cable in, we're going to remove some stuff that we don't need. Resistor out all the airbags, because all the airbags have been removed once the steering wheel comes off. And there is loads to do, a couple of gauges to put in, and then obviously, of course, change the heart of the car. That'll be a nice one. And then, of course, also, if you've watched the teaser or you're on my Facebook, you may have seen that going into 2023, myself and Bryn at BWSTT have actually started a new YouTube channel as well. Now, I've been trialing things on this channel over the years, and basically, if it's not cars or not TT related, it doesn't get the best of exposure. So what we decided to do, because me and Bryn are always looking to learn new things, try new things, do stupid things, and everything else, we decided to start a completely new channel called Rock Bottom Media. Go check it out. I'll put the details down in the description. We dropped a little bit of a teaser video for what's coming up, but we are going to be focusing on all sort of non-car related stuff on there, although the first video is very TT related and it's going to be very interesting. Of course, got to start off with a bang, ain't we? But yeah, go check it out. We'd really appreciate the subscribe. If you enjoy watching mine or his content, then I guarantee you will like that. So yeah, that is my cage. Let me know what you think, and if you want to get any work done from Tylah Motorsport, he does fabrication, he does cage building, he does car restoration, he does everything. Go check him out, Instagram, Facebook. I'll put all the details down in the description. Amazing welding. This is the second cage he's fitted for me. He also fitted a few of my friends' cages, so recommended from me. Until next time, guys, bye for now. Let's see if getting out is as easy as getting in. Oh, hurts your bum. As easy as that.